Welcome to the Music Roundtable with your hosts,
Clint,
Lyle,
Vicky,
and me, Kim, where the only opinions that matter is our own. I am here. I am far.
no, but if you're going to do it, I am near.
No, but he has to do the little running thing.
with the little running thing, yeah, exactly.
Grover runs. He goes.
We are recording, by the way.
Oh. Wow.
All right then. So,
you wanted me to record the stuff, so I hit the button.
Well, let's just start into it.
all right.
Grease. Finally. Pop Lyle's cherry. Was that for popping Lyle's grease cherry?
Yeah.
Yes. He's never seen it, so we had to watch it.
We had to.
Yes.
I have seen
I
bits
can't
of it,
believe
I
gone
think.
all this time and never seen
Okay,
it before.
first of all, for you two, you had to watch it.
Had. Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We all have to experience this together.
We all had to suffer through watching it again.
Again.
Damn it. Yeah.
Come on,
You,
it's one of those
you realize, though, a
feel-good-
lot of this is going to be directed to you, Lyle, because
Yes, because
I
you've never
know,
watched
I'm waiting.
it. So. Okay. So
what'd you think?
Yeah, what did you think overall?
Overall, it was good.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I was gonna say.
No, I
Go
think
ahead.
it just, takes you back to like I said, a simpler time to in the late 50s and
Yeah.
the cars and the outfits and the
Yeah.
like the greasers and the jocks and the
Yep.
cheerleaders
The nerds
and
and
the
the
nerds, and
cheer-
you've
yeah.
got everything and what high school was like, and
Yeah.
it's. I know our high school wasn't like that.
No, oh gosh, no.
No, but I think it takes you back to a simpler time, and
It does.
Yeah, apparently we couldn't afford a grad carnival.
No, I wanted the carnival. Dang it.
I did. Okay, that was one of the things. Is they're like, what are we going to do after high school? Oh, we'll be together forever. Obviously, that's unrealistic. But the funny thing is here's the four of us.
I know it is.
30 some odd years
Years
later.
later,
Yeah.
yeah.
Unrealistic. It's not really unrealistic, is it? It can be
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Watching that. Like,
Yeah.
well, I don't
Well, that's
know
what my
forever,
dad
but
keeps in contact with everybody that he graduated with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody?
Well,
The ones that were important.
the other ones that are, his
Yeah.
group,
His group,
Yeah.
yeah, that are still around. So
Yeah, my mom does too. Yeah, she
Yeah.
still has her friends.
His
from then.
crew.
His
yeah,
crew.
at the time, his roommates, like I guess there was 4 or 5 of them, and that's who they still keep in touch with.
That's nice.
That is pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's even found people that used to be our neighbors back in St. Catharines and reconnected with them, and
Oh, that's nice.
so.
That's a good thing about social media.
Well, yeah, especially now. Well, that was the thing, and back then, even when we were in high school, there was no such thing.
There's
as-
none of that.
None
Yeah.
of that. So
And
Yeah.
that kind of reminds you of it when you watch Grease, right? You're like, oh, yeah. Like you could actually just go do things. You didn't have a phone. You didn't have all this stuff holding you back and well, not even that, holding your mind hostage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
like you could still, you'll have the memories because
Yeah.
you're, I guess, living in the moment and
Yeah.
and all that. You don't have. You still had a camera. You could still do all that.
Yeah. But you had to actually get the film to
yeah,
film.
yeah.
Well, it's one of those things you take
Polaroids, man.
from
That's true. That's
you take
true.
how the show started. It started. They just came back from their summer vacation, so
Yeah.
all during that summer,
They didn't see
a
each
lot
other.
of them didn't interact together
No.
because
Working.
one was off working, the other one was spent all his time at the beach.
At the
and
beach, yeah.
Hauling his cookies to the beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's same thing. Same thing still happens today, but
But it's
Yeah,
all
social
over
media.
social media. Yeah. There's no
That's-
privacy
So
anymore.
I was gonna say, it's like watching stuff like that. I'm always like reminded of how glad I am that
We didn't have that. stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you could cherish the time and
Yeah.
yeah.
You didn't have to worry about your
like
parents
this-
phoning you every 5 minutes, telling you, where are you, or even tracking you. You were wherever you were until you were done.
we were
Yeah,
latchkey
till the
kids.
streetlights
Our
came
parents
on.
forgot about us.
Yeah.
Parents,
Are the kids home? I don't know.
I don't know.
do you know where you last left them? I don't know.
As long as they're home when the streetlights come on.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the music?
I like the music though.
You like the music?
Oh yeah, that's what I grew up to, and
Yeah.
listening to CIL
Yeah.
or at the CIL 101 or
Because you
whatever.
would have heard
CIL
a few of
650.
them,
Yeah.
but you've not heard all of the songs because you've never seen it.
No,
So
like the
yeah.
last song that everybody's heard the last one.
Yeah. Grease Lightning, you've heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I enjoy listening to that
Yeah.
music. I enjoy listening to the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
That style of music. So it's different. Well, I could say it's different. We could say it's different because we didn't grow up with that.
Yeah.
Like we grew up with rock, but
Yep.
that was their style of music. It was just simple to the
was.
point, and yeah.
I like how the story talks about a lot of things that were actually happening at the time, like
Yeah.
with Rock Hudson and Elvis and the big band.
There were a lot
stuff.
of cultural.
yeah,
References.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
yeah. So they did really good with that. I like the cast. Like the cast is a big star cast, really. A lot of them.
Well, like some of the cultural references is actually funny that you're mentioning it is. So you were talking like the Rock Hudson thing.
Yeah.
Is at that time nobody knew.
Nobody knew, yeah.
his. So even as they make comments about it,
Yeah.
they're thinking he's straight and stuff, and it's like, as the audience members at this time, everyone knows the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just even funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To sit there and
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. The Cars.
Of course,
that
the
was
Cars.
fun.
That was
Yeah.
that's. What I remember when we were watching. I was like, oh, I wonder what year. What. Like one in the 50s. I'm like, okay, so I saw the 55 Chevy. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so it's got to be past that, but
Yeah.
how far? And yeah, that was.
we never did see the date. I
swear
swear
it was on
it used to be
but
on
I
there
don't know
somewhere.
where.
But
I thought it was in the yearbook when they're flipping through the yearbook, but maybe it was like when they flipped the yearbook when they're giving them out at the end. Maybe it was just on the cover, but I wasn't paying enough attention to that part of it.
maybe we saw it from a picture on one of the many, many different mediums in which you own it. Maybe
Oh
That could be too,
Every
yeah.
version had their own little special features and stuff to watch. So we have 3 different versions. So yeah, that's very possible.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, it probably isn't one of
Yeah,
them.
no, according to Google, it was 1958 was the summer. So
Yeah.
58, 59.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Unless they didn't want to.
date it.
Yeah.
Well, I think you do by
But you
using the
kinda
cars
know,
and
yeah.
the
Yeah.
Exactly. You
costumes
have
and
that-
everything like that. Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got an idea that it was after 55,
Yeah,
probably 60s. Like you kind of know where. Because they didn't
Well,
talk
yeah, and then
about it.
there's like the cartoon at the beginning.
Yeah.
That goes through and there's different pictures of
yeah, different
cultural
things at that time.
events going
Yeah.
on at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah. And news events and yeah.
So how does it compare to the other musicals you've seen?
what
Oh,
other
man.
musicals have you seen?
Well, we saw the
Yeah, we've watched Rock of Ages
Rock of
and
Ages.
Rock of Ages, Across the Universe.
Across the Universe. Yeah,
And what I've seen, like,
Your Mamma Mia, as you mentioned.
yeah.
Yeah.
High School Musical.
High School
that I-
Musical. Yeah,
yeah, my daughter grew up on that one.
I do like that one too.
They're all similar.
I haven't seen.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No.
Okay, that's next.
Over there.
That is next. Yeah.
What have you seen?
High School Musical.
High School Musical.
Oh.
Yeah, we have to do that
Which
one.
one? 1, 2, or 3?
Yeah,
None of them.
none of them. See, that was Kelsey's era.
3 is the best.
Right.
Wow.
Wow, he's already out the gate. 3 is the best.
All right.
It's the soundtrack. It's the music, right?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they have some of the better songs. Anyway.
Well, yeah, we'll go through those ones too then.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, the songs in Greece, I mean, they
Can't go. Yeah.
like Greece. The title track is probably the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It stands the test of time. You can
Yeah, well, that was the special feature we just watched. They had Barry Gibb from Bee Gees write it.
Yeah.
And after he wrote it, and they had the song, and it was a song, and it was supposed to be pretty much an end credit song. And they're like, this
we
song
can't.
is too good,
It's too good, yeah.
to just be buried in the end credits. So that's
Yeah.
why it became the opening song.
And at the time period, because they'd already done Saturday Night Live or
Saturday
Night
Night Fever.
Fever.
Saturday Night
Yes.
Fever. Of course, they were the biggest band
Yeah.
that's
of the
right.
70s, right? Late 70s. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't you get the biggest band to help you out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I need a song, man.
need a song, yeah. And he writes a song, and yeah, of course it's going to be good. We hope.
We hope. And then just the whole soundtrack in general too, and even the bandstand when they did the dance.
Yes.
So that was Sha Na Na,
Yeah.
which a lot of people probably don't know that is actually a real band.
Yeah.
And they were I think they were quite well known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, like those songs I think were also written for the movie. I don't think they were part of the Broadway play.
Production.
Play.
Yeah. Just like the which one was it?
Hopelessly Devoted.
Thank you. I was
Yeah.
going to remember. I was like, which one was it? I was the one Sandy sang. That one wasn't in it
because
either.
that was on the other features. They
Yeah.
changed a lot because obviously they wanted Olivia Newton-John in it.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to Americanize her,
Yeah.
they pretty much changed the character.
Yeah.
To
be her.
accommodate
Which I
her.
thought that
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
But it also allows the movie to stand on its own, like to have its own little takeaway from the play,
Yeah.
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 which obviously you would want to go see the play.
I do want to see a live version.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it'd be
good.
interesting how they would do it.
I didn't realize there was a live version before the movie though.
Yeah.
I didn't like.
I know
Oh,
that.
it was a play first.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Of all the times I've watched the movie,
All the time. I think Hairspray was too. Hairspray was
was originally a
live,
play
before.
first. Yeah,
Have you seen
that I knew.
Hairspray, Lyle?
No.
That's another John
Oh.
Travolta.
Yeah.
I haven't
musical.
seen many Travolta movies. 7.
Okay, that's a totally different topic. But
That totally
What?
is. Yeah.
See, that is a whole other podcast so we can see what hasn't Lyle seen.
Yeah.
it'd be a shorter list to say what he has, but that's
Well, I know, but that's why it's supposed to be a podcast of what Lyle hasn't seen, and you
So there's
let him
two
experience.
versions for Hairspray. So you make your choice and see.
that's
them.
true. Yeah.
Because there's
Yeah.
one with
One's definitely more fun than the other, though.
I would say so. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I just haven't. Movies wasn't a big
Big thing.
Yeah.
for me.
That's interesting to me because movies weren't big for myself either, but we didn't have cable. So we then did end up renting movies. We didn't see movies in the theater, but there was most of it started with the music. So we would listen to the soundtracks. And then eventually
And then
when
eventually
there
see
was,
the movie.
movie places to rent from, then we would get to watch them. So I didn't see Grease for a long time. I knew the album, but I hadn't seen the movie.
I don't.
See, I'm totally the opposite. Like, I've always, from my recollection, I've always seen the movies first. And then been like, oh, I want the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah. Well, because there was no way to watch Grease back then, right? Like it was in the theater. It was only in the drive-in or the theater originally.
Yeah.
So what year
Yeah.
was that? That was
78, it was
yeah.
released.
So then until
because I didn't see it till it was on VHS.
Blockbuster.
So
Yeah,
early
exactly.
80s. Yeah.
VHS, yeah. So that's
82, 83, something like that.
Yeah. So I know I had already been listening to the soundtrack.
Or
for a
83,
long
84,
time.
because we were already up here at that point, I think, first time
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I,
You didn't listen to the soundtrack
I don't know
either?
why. Like,
Maybe your parents weren't into musicals though, or
maybe not. Like
soundtracks. And,
I don't know. Because
Yeah.
I remember Footloose and Top Gun and
Well, that was later
Star Wars
too, right?
and then
So
and stuff like that. But I'm not. I didn't watch.
They only
lot of
watched the
music.
blockbusters.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Probably,
only
like-
yeah, you didn't watch
Because
the-
we'd always have to rent a VHS player, and
Oh, same. Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah.
and that was always
Yeah.
the thing, right?
Yeah, that
'Cause
was a thing too. People probably don't realize, or younger.
'Cause
They
we only
may know
had-
what VHS
Right
is, but
now,
that you.
they're probably going, what do you mean by renting or going to a store?
what I
you'd have to rent a VHS
It's like
player
yeah,
to rent.
streaming,
they-
but
the movie.
and a physical tape.
Because our kids grew up with VHS,
Well,
but
yeah,
we
that was
owned
a-
the player.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
their generation would know what a VHS is, but they didn't know you had to rent the machine, and it was a tank.
It was.
It was.
That
it was
thing was
very
heavy.
Well, because even back, I think we only had 12 channels because it was dial,
Yeah.
on the
Not
dial on
even.
the TV, right?
Yeah,
If you were lucky, you had
you're
12
lucky.
channels.
I had
3.
five.
Or was it 5? Yeah,
I had
something like that.
5
Well, then I
channels.
remember because we ended up getting the cable box, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
and having Super Channel or whatever it was, the movies, right? So,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was
so you're
Super Channel to start off
so it
with.
was 4. I think it was 4 of them that.
Could have been. I don't
And
really
that's
remember.
how I watched some of these movies, but that's how it was Footloose and Top Gun and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But that
Roger
was,
was too cheap
that
for
was it.
Super Channel.
And I
My parents were
think in
too
the
cheap for
late-
cable.
Well, yeah, because we already had the VHS player by that time. So it was probably 85, 86 is when we owned the VHS.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, it's just like it's cheaper to buy it and then just rent the movies.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think you could rent the VHS player after a while. I think you had to one you just rent.
I think they did, but it was like by the 90s. I think it was kind of done. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cheap enough, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
and then
Yeah.
Laserdisc and
Yeah.
whatever else.
Yeah,
Well,
that-
with the VCR.
But they didn't know at the time too, because there was beta or VHS, so you
Yeah.
didn't know which was going to be bigger at the time because beta
No.
was starting to take
See,
over.
I
but then
never
beta-
saw Beta.
Beta was the better
Never
quality,
saw
but
it.
it was
Yeah.
more expensive to produce.
Did you ever see Beta? I never
tapes.
saw Beta.
I think maybe once or twice.
Oh, did you? Yeah, no.
At my grandparents or something, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I know people are probably listening right now and be like, "Wow,
An education
Yeah.
in old
Yeah.
movie
See,
stuff.
the thing I remember is at that time, as you're like talking about renting them and stuff, my dad used to have to use the VCR at his work for sales meetings on Fridays. So they would have the sales meeting, so they would get donuts and have the sales meeting. Well, at the end of the Friday, whatever donuts were left came home with the VCR, and then you get to go rent movies
For the weekend.
because you had the work VCR to go and do that.
yeah," and you'd only rent like one or two movies, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you would return after a night or whatever. But
Yeah.
it was expensive,
It was expensive.
It was at the beginning, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
and that happened probably once every
Couple
of
months.
if you're
Every
lucky.
couple times a month, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, if you're lucky.
If not,
Yeah.
I
Or
don't even remember
birthdays.
how much it was to go to the theater at that time.
Like $5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't
But
know.
that
I
was a
never saw
lot
very
in
many
early
movies.
80 money.
Yeah, it
Well,
was.
yeah,
a
and all
lot.
we had was the theater by Willowbrook.
Well, we had Willowbrook
Willowbrook
6.
six.
So Willowbrook 6, though, was for its time was unheard of because there was
There were six.
six theaters in there.
Yeah.
And I never stepped foot in there until I was like 14. That
Yeah.
was my
And,
first time
and
going in there.
kids don't understand is when you went to those movies in the box office and all this, you didn't get to go into the theater until you bought your ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
had to
waiting
stand
outside.
outside.
Yeah.
Because the
And
box office was before the doors to go in.
Yeah.
and
And,
that-
they
and then-
checked
Yeah.
your ticket as
And
you
it was
went
only
in.
once you bought the ticket that you got to go inside. Then
Get your
then you had ways to
concession.
go and see additional movies, but that's not how you were supposed to do it. It was never done.
No.
No, because I remember
Never opened exit doors for anybody else.
because I remember the
None of that, yeah.
theater in Cloverdale,
Yeah.
and then there's one in
That was
Surrey.
just a single screen
Yeah,
theater.
and
Yeah.
then one in
Yeah.
Guildford. There was one because that's where I saw Empire Strikes
Yes,
Back.
Guildford, yeah.
But the first theater in Langley was right across from Save-On, which turned into Beam Riders.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember that.
Yeah, I remember
That's
that.
where I saw Star Wars for the first time, like when it was initially released in '77.
I would
Oh, see, we watched movies in New West. We didn't go to.
I would have seen it in Prince
Langley.
George. I know I saw.
I remember seeing Return of the Jedi at the Hilltop Drive-In before it
Yeah.
went away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first movie I remember seeing at the drive-in.
So I think I saw E.T. I think.
I saw E.T. Yeah.
Yeah.
With The Incredible Shrinking Woman was the first one.
I saw
It was
Clash of the
and
Titans
then-
there.
That was the only drive-in movie I
See,
saw
I
as
did.
a child.
Yeah.
And it was
Maybe I only
Hillcrest.
did see the blockbusters. Now I think
Yeah,
about it. but
probably.
That's what I saw. That's what
Yeah.
my dad and
Well, that's what he wanted. You saw what your parents wanted to see.
yeah.
See,
Yeah.
my parents didn't go to movies, so we didn't go see movies.
Okay.
I went to the drive-in with Shane and Joe.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
there you
saw
go.
a lot of movies.
Yeah. Well,
They used you to get out of those.
I also saw a lot of horror movies that I shouldn't have seen
Yes,
when
you
I was a
probably
young
did.
child.
Yes.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I like. Okay, there's the ones I've watched with you, but I saw a lot
Lots
more when I
more.
was a lot younger.
Nice older brother you had there. So back to Greece.
Yeah, this is supposed to be about Greece,
It's supposed to be
right?
about
Not just
Greece. We
movies
kind of
in
just went
general.
off on movies, yeah. We just went on a side tangent, but
That's
you know,
per
it's,
usual.
It's
That's
per
what it-
usual,
yeah,
so
that's
we're
what it's
good.
like here.
That's fine.
So Grease is the word.
Greece is the word.
Yes.
So then, did you know that tidbit about her being sewn into her pants?
I did remember
No.
hearing
Yeah.
that.
No.
Yeah.
You did know that? Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, when you now that she said it,
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. She couldn't go to the bathroom.
No.
It was a long day, and it was
long
yeah.
day.
I remember it was in a different interview. It
Yeah.
was a long day. It was hot.
Yeah.
and she couldn't get out of those.
No, because they were vintage pants, and they would have to like unstitch it, right? To
Yeah.
get her out. But
I do remember hearing that.
Yeah, I think that's funny.
But it was very with the pants and everything like that. But it was just the storyline, what they were talking about.
You like the storyline?
Yeah, I like the storyline, and then the innuendos.
Oh my
throughout.
gosh, the innuendos.
That's where I was going to get is how did you like, just what they got away with saying in the songs.
Well, that's
Yeah. You guys saw your jaw drop a little bit
Yeah.
during Grease Lightning. We're like,
Because it's a real pussy wagon.
it is.
but like
The chicks are good at cream.
Grease Lightning, yeah.
yeah, like because of what happened in the 80s with all the parental advisory and everything
Yeah.
like that. But that's the way the music was in the late 50s, or it could have been written in the just specifically for the show. But now it's second nature. Like you just automatically talk about it or you sing.
Yeah.
It's
You don't
nothing.
think about it, yeah.
No, you don't think about it, but you couldn't just sing it back then. You had to use all the innuendos and
Yeah.
even some of the songs that were written in the 80s and 90s, there was the innuendos and you're like, I think they're talking about that, but I'm not quite
But
sure.
Grease Lightning, that was not innuendo. That was,
was
like
straight
point
in
blank.
your face.
This is,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. And that's when I
Yeah.
was like, oh.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why we made you focus on the lyrics of the songs. 'Cause
Yeah.
even the beauty school dropout.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Won't go to you unless you were a hooker. Yeah. It's pretty
I
funny.
think I was smirking the whole time because I'm like, holy cow.
Yep.
Like, how could they get away with that?
I have no idea. They just did it and hoped for the best.
Well, I said it was the mid 70s when they were making it. So
Yeah.
Well, it was
Yeah.
also one of those things. That's what they said is they didn't think it was going to be that big of a movie or whatever, and they're just like, okay, whatever. Just let
Yeah,
them-
we'll just put it in
Yeah,
and
let
see,
just let
yeah,
them
what
get away
happens.
with it. You know, no one's going to watch this anyways. Whoopsie.
We got away with a
That's
lot.
Probably why it became one of the bigger movies then.
Oh, probably.
Yep.
Yeah. And a cult classic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. And what'd you think of the hickeys for Kaniki or from Kaniki and them being really
Finding out,
hickey?
finding out that it was real,
that it
right?
was for real.
Yeah, that he actually did
okay.
it. Yeah.
That's what you call method acting, children.
Getting really into character.
Right?
Yeah.
It seems like they were though. Like
Yeah.
they were right into the character.
Yeah.
Like you tell the haircuts, the outfits,
Yeah.
the way they talked, the way they were walking, the
Yeah.
way everything was the way it was
Yeah.
back then.
They took it seriously.
Yes.
Yeah. To make sure that their characters came off like they should for that
Yeah.
time period. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it's definitely different than a lot of musicals. There's more of a storyline for sure than some musicals. Most musicals have a good
Well,
storyline.
it
but-
depends on the musical and what it is, because some musicals are literally just an avenue to push the music,
Yeah.
whereas other ones are used to tell the actual story, like they
Yeah.
propel the story. So it all depends on how the actual musical
Yeah.
works.
I think that's the way this one was. Like
Yeah.
it was story, music was just part
Added
of it.
to it.
Yeah.
It was just part of it.
And that's probably the difference of it being a Broadway show first, right? You've already got the storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did have music obviously in it because
Yeah.
it's a Broadway musical, but it was probably built together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of our favorites. So we're glad you finally watched it. I know Clint was so happy to watch it yet again.
I like the
He
drive-in scene.
secretly loves it.
I
He just
think
doesn't
he
want to tell you.
does.
Yeah.
I like the drive-in.
You like the drive-in part?
Oh yeah, because it brings back memories of going to the drive-in.
Yeah.
Not quite
Yeah.
the way that was, but
No.
seeing the commercial, like the break and
I was,
stuff.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, I remember those commercials, those kind of commercials being on before. And then there was the ones during the
The intermission.
intermission to
Yeah.
go get your snacks
Yeah,
and
with the
whatever
hot
else,
dogs
right?
dancing in the pop and all.
Yeah.
But it was,
Yeah.
I didn't get to go to the drive-in a lot
Yeah.
when Aldergrove, but it was nice. Like you got to sit outside
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the summer
Yeah.
and you're looking at the stars and you're watching a movie and
Yeah.
it's just different.
It's an
Just-
experience
it was.
compared to anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in your car watching a movie.
Yeah,
How bizarre is that?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just, you can make whatever, like scream and yell, and or you can sing along, and
Did you
no one else is going to.
go to the movies as a teenager? Like the drive-in as a teenager on dates?
No.
No.
First of all, I didn't have a car.
Oh.
So
I know we went to the drive-in. I don't know what the movie was.
Then it
not
did its
about-
purpose.
That's
It
right.
did its
It
purpose.
definitely wasn't about watching the movie. That's for sure.
no.
No.
Yes, yeah, I was spoiled as a child because at that time I actually watched the movie.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about child. I was talking about when we were
No,
teenagers.
no, I know, but I'm just prior to that,
Yes.
went to the drive-in because we were going to
Go
see
to
a
the
movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
same.
Yeah.
As a teenager, okay, it was a little different.
Yeah, it was a lot different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's kind of like sitting in a theater. You'd sit in the very back row.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but the benefit is when you're in your own car, you can do a little bit more than what you could do in a theater.
True enough.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have people walking around, honestly, checking cars because that back row was not. Well, you know,
Yeah.
we digress.
Yes.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's the perfect meaning about it is because obviously all the people that were going to the drive-in there were pretty much teenagers or young couples and
Yeah.
stuff like this.
That we're just going to make
Which-
out.
Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
they pretty much, they all lived at home, but they obviously needed to take their date out. Okay, well, you're seeing a movie. That's great. Yeah, go have fun. They get to have a vehicle. They got to have a lot of fun.
How
Yeah.
many pregnancies ended up out of those movie ventures?
That's where this generation came from.
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I said a different time.
It was a different
was.
time. Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're going to find kids, and they're just named after the movies that they were conceived.
Carrie.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
That's good.
So you bringing that up, and then it is sad that the Twilight has closed.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah.
I think, the last drive-in around our area. And
Yeah. I think there's still one in Salmon Arm.
No, that one was gone years ago. That was gone when I lived
Okay,
there.
then it's Prince George. There's one.
There's one
there's
left.
not many
There's one
left.
left
No.
I know where the Salmon Arm one was. I could tell you, but
in Salmon Arm.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you-
one thing.
Did you guys know Henry Winkler was originally offered the role of Danny?
Yes. That would have been awesome too.
Been awesome too.
The
yeah.
Fonz as Danny. I still
yeah.
like John Travolta though. Come on.
Yeah.
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 Considering what he played in Happy Days, that would be like the perfect.
Oh, he totally. I could see him being the leader of a gang on that one.
Yeah, totally.
What did you think of John Travolta's singing?
I don't have an issue with that.
No.
No.
I've always
know-
found it kind of hit and miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely.
Some,
he hits
some,
some
okay.
some songs
keys.
were okay, but
Yeah.
some of them got a little pitchy.
A little pitchy.
I
Yeah.
think on some of them, though, I think
think
it
it's on
was
purpose.
intentional to be that
Yeah.
pitchy on
His
them.
dancing, though,
Oh,
was.
well, that's
It's
right.
fine.
Yeah.
That's perfect, right?
Yeah.
That's what he was.
That was
known
what
for.
he was known for. I actually feel bad for him because in that time, that was all that he was offered on roles. So, like, unless it was literally Dance Monkey Dance or whatever, unless he actually did some kind of dance, he wasn't getting any
Yeah,
roles
in
or
his
whatever.
early movies and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
That's the
But
unfortunate part.
weren't we so happy when he danced in that next movie when it was the where he played the angel Michael?
Oh yeah.
Oh, because he got to dance again. He hadn't danced in movies.
Yeah. In
so
a long time.
long, and then he got to dance. Do you remember that?
Yeah. no,
Yeah.
I- I-
Yeah. It was Michael.
Actually,
It was Michael?
it
Yeah.
is called Michael. It is that one's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Now I want to watch it.
But it's John Travolta, and I don't admire him as in a romantic way. I do like his acting. I enjoy a lot of movies he's in.
Yes.
Do you
me
have a
too.
man crush on John Travolta?
No,
Okay,
It would be okay if you did.
it would be. We would totally understand.
so I can watch Face Off.
Yes.
Oh, it's
Or
one of my
Broken
favorite movies.
Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow.
Love that movie.
Broken Arrow. We
Broken
have
Arrow.
Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at you guys like
Okay, so
totally.
now
You have to watch. Okay, it's not a
Seriously,
music.
Face
it's-
Off is one of the best
Yeah,
movies
it's
out
so
there.
good.
It's not a musical or whatever.
No.
It doesn't pertain to what we're talking about here, but you do have to watch Face Off because
So good.
it's John Travolta and
Nicolas Cage.
And Nicolas Cage. And at a certain point in time, they switch roles.
And they have to act like each
So
other.
they literally
become each
become
other.
the other.
It's
It's
amazing.
Okay.
a fantastic
Wow.
movie.
Poor Lyle.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought I was
So-
deprived.
Right?
What the heck?
I think music kind of dominated and
Yeah.
more into the
I
music
thought
part
you went.
than
I thought you
I know,
went to
but that's
movies.
just-
You didn't
no.
go to movies.
No.
You didn't go to dates on movies, or dates on movies on.
Did you
dates?
take a
Yeah.
date to a
That's
movie?
yeah. I'm like I can't talk now. It's late. It's mumbler.
No, it's more like I took him to the movies. I had made him see Lion King like 3 times in
Disney?
the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Disney. You've seen Disney movies.
Oh, I've seen Disney movies.
Yes.
Yes, I've seen Disney movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
We may have to just like go through a whole list of really good movies and see what he's seen and tell him he has lots of homework.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm
start.
just-
I'm gonna turn my house into a video rental for Lyle.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
just start at A and pick it up.
You have to see this one and this one. Oh, nope. You got to see this one first.
Oh,
And I was just running through a list of his movies, and I'm like, yeah, I've seen most of them.
John Travolta. Yeah. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
he's good.
He is very
yeah.
good.
Powder. Powder was really good.
we don't have that one,
No, we
but I've
don't.
seen
No.
that numerous times. But
Yes.
I was always watching hockey.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
the
was
problem.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
watch
in a
Youngblood.
band And
Yeah. Have you watched Youngblood?
I don't think so.
Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves.
yeah, if you watch it, Keanu Reeves is a goalie in it.
Okay. No, I haven't.
No.
He doesn't even
Wow.
watch hockey movies. He's just trying to find excuses. you
I know. Goodness. And that's a really good movie too. That's
Damn.
another I would
I
say
guess I have a
another
lot of
kind of cult
homework then.
classic. Yeah. You do?
Yep.
But we got one off the list.
We've had a few off the
We
list.
have
now.
a few of us. Yes.
Well, he saw Rock of Ages before.
Yeah, I've seen Rock of Ages. See?
Oh, yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah. Well, because we saw that in the theater together, didn't we? Or
Yes.
no? Yes, that one. That was
Yeah, I
the one we
think so.
saw together. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
He'd already seen it, but we had to rewatch it to do our
and I actually own that
podcast
on
it.
DVD, and
As you should.
I watched it I don't know how many times. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Because it's good.
Okay, one.
One.
He's seen one.
He's seen one.
He has one. There's so many more out there.
There he is.
Yeah. But
That's okay.
I'll eventually. get
One more
through-
You
down.
get every
made to go.
Friday off. You should be watching. That should be your day. Friday's movie day for Lyle to catch up on movies.
I like that idea.
No, in the morning it's to watch.
But you can change that. You can do your morning and have that, and then watch a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
just have to make time to watch a movie. Theo would just love to watch
It's
a
for
movie.
working on this podcast and watching the Blacklist at the same time. Yeah.
You've seen The Blacklist
A couple of times.
Yeah, so,
So
you
time
could
to move
watch a
on.
movie.
I've started over again.
No, so you could. What again? You need some more material to watch, dude.
Totally.
I am watching Manifest.
Okay, so you need to like watch something different. And
Netflix also has
yes,
movies.
They
You know.
do have
Yes,
movies.
I,
Yes. Work on the podcast.
I have watched
and
a
then
couple of
watch
movies that
yours.
you have recommended.
Okay.
So
To Lyle's defense, it is hard and difficult to watch a movie by yourself
Is it?
because, well, one when
You
went
watched
to,
how many movies by yourself without me? And then
Well,
I go, I
I'm-
never watched this. And you're like, yes, you did. I'm like, no, I didn't because you watched it by yourself.
well, I'm a freak of nature. Anyways,
Just razzing you.
when you watch a movie, like obviously a lot of these movies that we're recommending to him, we've seen, so we can discuss with him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you are watching a movie, it's nice to be able to discuss with somebody. So when you watch it by yourself, there's no one else to discuss it with when it's over.
Oh, so you don't mind me talking during the movie?
When it's over. When it's
very
over.
specific. When it's over.
When it's over.
If it's a movie he's already seen a bunch of times
Yeah.
and he knows it, then it's not so bad, right?
I'm just one of
No,
those.
no, it's still an issue. You're watching a movie. Shut up! I'm watching a movie.
I'm just one of those people that finally finds the movie about halfway through.
Yeah.
I'm falling asleep.
Oh, no.
I'm one of those people.
Oh, that's not okay.
I know.
Then you're not watching very good movies.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you're watching the wrong movies then.
Yeah.
I don't.
Either that or that's the whole thing about not being able to watch it by himself because he's
Yeah.
not got somebody going like this.
Like, wake up, wake up.
Like,
Yeah.
poking him in the arm or whatever, going,
Yeah.
wake up, wake up, wake up.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the one comedian is Michael McIntyre, like the "Dudump" for Netflix. That's when both him and his wife
Fall asleep.
Fall asleep.
Their heads hitting the pillow. The don't.
Dudump. They're out.
They're out. That's pretty funny.
Never heard that. That's funny.
Oh my gosh. I should have asked
Just
you to
pick
go to
movies
that.
now. I should just do that. Just
Well,
pick a movie and watch it. Just pick a movie.
Okay. I'll put this out to you both right now because I did ask a few people in my family to go watch a movie with me, and well,
I thought you
Scarlett is
invited them.
coming. Did I?
I thought you invited them.
I didn't yet.
Oh, okay.
What?
So this movie is a movie that I watched many times as a youth because I have 2 older brothers and they
youth.
suck at movies. So have you ever heard of Rad?
No.
No.
No. So you guys probably have never seen Rad, the movie with Lori Loughlin, and it's about BMX racing.
No.
No. Doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, so like,
What are you guys doing Thursday night?
yeah, it's on Thursday night, and
We're doing this on the podcast.
that's okay. That's okay. It's at a Landmark. So we're going.
I already bought tickets for
Yeah, you
her.
already bought tickets for me because it's like nostalgic, and I've never seen it in the theater. I saw it a lot at home. Yeah,
Interesting.
Okay.
we'll watch the trailer after.
Okay.
You can decide what you want to do
We'll
there.
go from there.
But it's definitely a movie you haven't seen.
Because I'm actually free on Thursday. I have no hockey. I have nothing.
Oh, then you may have
Wow.
a movie to watch.
Then you have, you
I
have to
know.
go.
That would fill the other seat.
It would. Because I'm sure a lot of people still don't know that mumovie is playing.
Or they
Right?
just don't want to go.
Don't wanna go. Probably not. But that's okay. Scotty didn't even know who it was or what it was because I showed it to him. He was like, "Do I remember this movie? No."
When did it originally come out?
In the
Ni-
80s.
1986.
Oh, you looking it up?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Because you knew I was going to ask that, right?
Which means that I probably didn't see it.
It's 2.5 hours long.
No, it's not.
According to this, it says 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Oh, it might be because it's also
Landmark
got a
is
thing.
in Surrey, the one,
That's the one in Guildford.
Yeah.
duh. That means I'd fall asleep.
Oh, because
You
the
didn't fall
reclining
asleep during
chairs.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
No, there's a
'Cause the
special thing that
couches,
they're going to be
it's
putting
very
on it
comfy.
as well because
If
it is
you
an
go to
anniversary
it,
special.
I will make sure you sit
there's like
beside us. I can slap you every 10
documentary?
minutes.
Perfect.
Okay.
I can have,
Some
as long
things
as
that
I can
might
have
be why it's
coffee.
saying it's that
Once
long.
again, we do
running
realize we're
time,
having this
91 minutes.
conversation
Yeah, there
on
you
the
go.
Gotcha.
podcast.
Yes, we are.
We are having this conversation on the podcast.
That's okay. This
They
happens
didn't
all the
make
time.
that movie or that. Yeah, never mind. I lost my train of thought. It's all
We
good.
got distracted.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say they didn't make movies that long back in the 80s.
No, they didn't. No.
Clearly, you haven't watched Clash of the Titans.
Oh, dude, don't watch.
Okay.
Don't watch that.
with few exceptions.
Good movie.
Lyle's seen it.
Okay, so you saw the original.
Conan the Barbarian.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, Red
Sorry.
Sonja.
Sorry, I want to go back to Clash of the Titans. You saw the original,
Yes.
and obviously the graphics and all this to today's standards totally cheesy.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the remakes of Clash of the Titans?
No.
Okay. Okay, you remember the
owl?
that they had in the original one? It was kind of a
Yeah,
mechanical
I think
owl.
so. Yeah.
Okay. In the new one,
They still use the owl.
They have the mechanical owl, and it's like, no, leave that behind.
Yeah. They don't take it. So sad. I'm like, but the owl. You have to take the owl. Anyways,
That's too
we
funny.
I have seen certain
I've
movies.
seen way too many movies.
this has turned into
I've
a
seen the
movie
very
podcast
cheesy movies.
today.
So
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's all good.
I've seen some cheesy movies. So.
There's a lot of cheesy movies, and those are the fun ones to watch.
That's right.
Yeah.
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 A lot of our movies that we had growing up were cheesy to
Yes.
begin with.
Yes.
And a lot of Canadian movies were cheesy.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Anyways. Grace is the word.
On
So,
that note,
Okay.
yeah.
But
Have you seen Hardcore Logo?
see, now that's
no,
music
but I've heard.
oriented. Good,
No,
good.
I haven't. But I've wanted to.
Okay,
it's very
see,
good.
We can do this one then because that is a musical.
Ish.
It works for me.
We're talking music,
Victoria's
so that
seen
works.
it.
There we go.
Hardcore logo.
Hardcore
Never even
logo.
heard of it.
Okay. I've seen it. It's not bad. Is it my favorite musical? No. But I can take one for the team.
I guess
For
we're going
those
to be
who-
watching that.
I was going to say, for those who can't see, I'm smiling ear to ear.
I have to give him one. If he watched one of mine, it's only
Right?
fair.
Yeah.
Yes. So that'll be the next one. All right. So anything else on Grease, guys? We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. We'll catch you on the B-side.
Thank you for joining us on the Music Roundtable. Please like and comment where you listen to the podcast. And make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter and let us know what you'd like us to talk about. Until next time.